Gluing is the term used by Visio for connector points. Up till now, when we create a connector, what it typically does is it connects from connection point to connection point. So those are the points to which you can glue to. And by gluing, it means that if the shape moves, then the connector moves with it, and they never become disassociated. But there are more things to glue to than just connector point to connector point. So let me just delete this line here, or connector. So at the moment when I create a connector, let's go home. When I create a connector, I go from connection point, which appears with a red square, to connection point. Let's look at other things that you can glue to though besides connection point, and this might help you use Visio a little bit more effectively. If I was to go to the View tab in the ribbon and I was to hit the Visual Aids dialog box launcher, I can control my snap and gluing options. And at the moment I'm just looking at gluing options, which is the connection points. At the moment I can glue to connector points so that when a shape moves, let me just cancel that and show you, when a shape moves, the connection point stays there, so they never lose connection. But what if I want to glue to something other than a connection point? Then I need to go back to View, back to the Visual Aids dialog box launcher, and perhaps consider ticking these things. I might tick all of them and show you the various things you can now glue to besides just connection points, and I'll click OK. What I might do also is create a guide. So I'm just going to drag from my vertical ruler and create a guide. Now when I click on a connector, I can connect or glue to various things. I can drag this endpoint here, and as I drag it, I can connect to, say, this point, which is to the geometry of this line. I can connect to this point, which is the connector for this particular object. I can glue to, say, this point, which is actually one of the handles that typically appears around the outside of the shape when the shape is selected. I can actually glue now to the guide if I wish. So by ticking all those options, you've suddenly increased the variety of things that you can glue to. I can glue to the guide, and just try it, just move it around and you'll see connection point, geometry, vertex, and a connection point again. So what I'd do is I'd actually go to View, Visual Aids, and hit this dialog box launcher and increase the number of objects that I can actually glue to. The geometry of a shape, guidelines if they appear, the handles around a shape, the vertices of a shape, as well as the connection points. And choose OK.